Hey there. Your dreams are vivid once again. You are walking endlessly, the hills moving upward, up and down under your feet like a rippling sea. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forward. Meanwhile, the food in your bag is rotting, wet through the sweat of your back, and in the distance a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of the crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Uh-oh, what's good? Is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Is he, definitely troubling dreams for sure. You wake early and sit for a moment. In no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the third day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short time enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Kristatanti is surrounded by several miles of fields, a filthy town set into a bowl of mud. As you follow the path between the lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. So, what do you think, guys? Should we go into the woodlands or should we go between the buildings? So it looks like there might be some ruins here, which would be pretty exciting to explore. All Indiana Jones style. Maybe get into some kind of temple, trigger some traps, run away from a giant rolling boulder. Who knows? Now, if we go this way, we enter the woods, and it looks like there's a cottage here. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but the last game, we got in good with one of the villagers, and they mentioned some gal, and I'm assuming it's a gal named Alani that kind of lives out in the woods. So, and two, that she's best avoided. So, maybe there's a little gingerbread house out there. Maybe we're having to deal with a witch here. But, if we go to the ruins, if we do find something, the potential for it being great is very high. So it's a higher gamble. But if we play it safe and we go to this village in Dhumpus, there's it looks pretty well off versus the other villages that we've been to. There seems like there's a lot of larger buildings. Especially in regards to all these outlying tribes out here, and this was a little sparse. Where this seems like a small gated community up here, just by the first initial glance. So maybe they've got some job opportunities or some better equipment that I can buy there. So let's see. So let's go ahead and avoid the ruins. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to the locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is feverish, and then you are between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is a land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bush and shrubs have grown over into the path. It's move cautiously. You pick your way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Then you come to a fork in the road, still deep in the forest. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide, or perhaps as a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dhumpus. The left points turns to Alania, a name you remember from what the man in Kristani told you. Neither way seems the better tribe. You'll have to choose. Well, this is always something to consider when you're playing a role playing game. I've been playing smartly, to be to try to avoid my character dying, because it's not like a physics-based game where, if you play it right by getting the right equipment and running away when you have to run away and attacking when you need to attack and different things, then you're fine. This is more arbitrary, so I'm trying to make smart decisions based on the text that I see and based on our omnipresent ability to just kind of be everywhere at once and zoom out and see everything. And that's kind of saving us from grief. But and in this case, I could say fairly we know not to go to Alania because we talked to the villager, the guy from the village. But in a lot of cases, I'm making judgments based on looking ahead by zooming out on the map. Where unless our character had a spell that would do such, there's no way our character would know. So it's kind of cheating. But I think but I want to try to get through this game without dying because it's not like hit points necessarily, like having enough hit points so you can die by losing hit points. It's more about, did you make the right decision versus do you have the right equipment and do you have the knowledge needed to of the physics of the game to beat it beat it by jumping on the platform at the right time or something. So although we're a little omnipresent and we see the future and we see that this road to Alania kind of leads out in the middle of the forest, which is a little more dangerous, and we don't know what her intentions are, and she's been advised an ill-advised visit by the villages. We'll go this way, but it would be interesting to go back and play this game without the omnipresence of looking up at the map and just looking at directly what you would imagine your character would see, which is just a few feet, a few mile, maybe a mile or so ahead in every direction, depending on the geography of the land, if it's flatlands or if it's hilly or mountainous. The path continues between the trees, growing narrower. You have chosen well. You have chosen wisely. This route is untrod, so you are unlikely to meet an attacker. You walk for several hours, following the twists and turns of paths through the trees. Then suddenly you stop. You have heard a noise ahead. Something is moving around between the rocks at the edge of the path. And they just said I've chosen well, and I'm unlikely to meet an attacker, but it looks like we're in possible danger. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait and look. You hang back, watching the trees. There's definitely something moving around, something large and long with a tail that whips between the trees. But now you've seen it, you're at a definite advantage. Right. Let's try to be a creeper. Let's creep around. Or let's just see what our spells available to us are. Okay, so Jig isn't available, so we can't make whatever it is go on a giant dance. Law Control non-intelligent creatures. Well, we haven't seen what it is yet. Cause slowness. Well, we've seen it, but we don't know what it is. We're at a definite advantage. Shoot, I know if I cast a spell, maybe the spell won't work if we don't know exactly what we're fighting. So it's a little risky. Let's just cost slowness. That only costs 1 stamina, so it's not. If the spell fails, it's not going to really burden us with our stamina. So let's take a look. Doze. You draw the spell. You drop the spell, and the beast slows down, looking very sleepy and slow. At this speed, you do not need to even fight it. You walk quickly away. Sweet. Deal? Approaching Dhumpus. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and then emerges onto the sun plain, as if the forest has been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between the short grasses, and by the banks stands a village. Alright, well, we definitely want to go into the village, because that was the whole idea of the omnipresent foresight, was to take a look and hopefully find some cool stuff. Today has been mercifully short and uneventful. You have made excellent progress with a decent meal and a night's sleep. Your next day will start auspiciously. So you begin a gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path down into the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dhumpus. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together, as if trying to withstand a storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems a very unpleasant place. So may model. Alright, so let's go ahead and explore the village. Explore the town, I should say. Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchants' huts. You browse for items worth buying for your 9 gold pieces. Your attention is taken by a finely woven skull cap, a finely crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. Well, the logical thing, we do actually have 3 rations left, and we have to think, food is perishable, so we're not really hurting ration-wise at the moment. But, like, something like the skull cap can actually be used for a spell, I believe. You pick up the skull cap and turn it over. Stolen from a priest of Dedu Lay. The merchant declares with pride, a fine piece of work, 4 gold pieces. You can tell from the feel of the cloth that it has no inherent magic, but might be useful in spells. Let's try it on. You place it on it, you feel nothing, but you take it off again. Well, I kind of know that skull cap is involved in certain spells that might be cool to try. So let's go ahead and pay the 4 gold pieces. Maybe we shouldn't have given that in the emerald, but it was probably the right thing to do to help that other town out. I know they were suffering, but that's probably going to cripple us later. So, there is that idea of before you can help other people, you have to be able to help yourself, and it's kind of selfish. And you don't want to be a selfish person your whole life, but you do want to think logically about how can I help people if I can't even help myself? It's an important thing to consider when undertaking anything. And there's something about being said, there's kind of a balance where, you want to take care of the poor. You don't want to become poor, but you want to give them a leg up if you can. So it is kind of a balance, and it's a very tricky notion, because there's people that you can give them all the resources possible and they won't try to get a leg up, and there are people that will do a lot with a little, and you kind of gotta play that game. You kind of balance, and it's a lot more nuanced. Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there any work to be had here? Let's go ahead and see if we can up our bank a little bit, get a job here, and increase our holdings. So let's take a look here. Is there any work to be had here? I need to earn some money. The merchant sizes you up. You look like a good worker to me. One of my friends needs some digging doing. I'm sure he'd pay you and feed you for it. Let's see. Sounds like hard work. Digging what? Well, I don't want to ask him. It's kind of rude. Sounds like hard work. I don't know how he's saying it. If he's like being a sissy about it, then I don't want to sound like a sissy. I don't want to do the work. But digging what is also kind of prying. Maybe just saying sounds like hard work. Sounds like something that I could do. Yes, manliness. Sounds like hard work, you reply. You don't get paid for free, the merchant replies, carefully wrapping away his merchandise as he talks, as if expecting you to steal something. He stares at you. So, he asks. He looks over his shoulder to the path. I'm going that way now myself. Are you coming? Alright. Let's follow the merchant, and maybe instead of going to the inn this time, since the village seems to be well off enough, we'll just sleep outside. He leads you to a house at the edge of the village. He introduced you to a householder, a stout man who is probably incapable of lifting a spade, let alone digging with it. I guess he means fat, like super fat, I guess, like obese or something. I'm a chubby guy, and but someone might call me stout. I always think of stout as in you got some fat on you, but you're well built. As somebody incapable of lifting a spade, I would describe as fat or obese, or disabled, or not stout. Like stout is, I don't know, but I'm not the wordsmith in this game. And it is well written. I do like the way this game has been written so far. It's very, it's easy to critique. It'd be hard to do. I'm ready to get started. Yeah, I'm ready to get started. Spades out back, he replies with a jerk of his thumb. You walk through the man's house into the back garden. The smell is terrible. The job is not just to dig a new cesspit, but to dig over the old one. It's going to be several hours' work, and it'll probably take the whole night. You collect the spade stuck in the ground by a hole. Oh, let's see if we can cheat. I know. It's good to be manly and to do hard labor and to just. But as you get older, you start to realize that as your body starts to, and I'm young, I still got a lot of good years in me, but there's nothing dishonorable about doing. You can work the hard way, or you can work the smart way, and it's not noble to work. It's never noble to work hard. It's a noble thing to work hard. But if you can work hard and smart and get it done faster and better, that's more tasks that are open to you. And that's, I think that there is a definite, a definite like a work ethic that is not very smart, that is propagated, that, if you just work hard enough, you can do anything. And it's like, that's actually not true. You can actually like not work really, really hard and get paid not very well, and someone can do something smarter and not work very hard and achieve more. And I'm not saying you want to make things easy, because you definitely want to try to work hard at whatever you do. You want to also work smart, and you want to make sure that you're not wasting your energy. In your few precious youthful years doing something super hard that is not gonna, you're not gonna be able to retire or support a family on. You want to kind of try to be smart, as on the same level that you work hard. Some fine good coffee. All right, let's see what we got here. Big, grow in size. Well, that would help, right? That would make us a little tougher. We'll, be able to. Let's give it a go. It only costs 1 stamina. You see, if we had just done the straight up hard labor in our current state, or we might lose 4 stamina, and then, it's going to hurt us later. You cast the spell and wait for it to take effect. Then you feel the spade turn from a heavy tool to a mere toothpick in your hand. You swell it to 3 times your usual size. You have the digging work done in barely any time. Let's see. You go back to the house and collect your money, 3 gold pieces. The grateful householder also provides you with some food, as well as space on the floor to rest for the remainder of the night. Sweet. Settle down happily and are quickly asleep. Alright. Nice. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Again, can we get 1 decent night's sleep in this game? We never win. It never happens. It's always tragedy, always sadness, and weird, cryptic, strange things. Can we just dream of like beautiful women, beautiful large women? Can we dream of just treasure and a nice place to live on the lake? Can we dream of being president or an astronaut? We have to have these weird dreams. Like, why? Okay, I know. We're disturbed. It's been an arduous journey. Okay, you dream of strange dreams as you sleep. Tall trees rise like crooked fingers on the side of you, ready to close into a fist as you creep forward. The hills stretch out into the distance, a frozen sea, treacherously deep. Great forces lie underground, ready to open a hole in the earth. You will never see it in the dark. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. Caw-caw, caw-caw. The birdmen came for the crown. Perhaps before this journey is finished, they will come for you. Yikes. Well, in tradition of this game, we have been playing where when we get to where we rest, we stop the installment till the next installment, so we're going to do so. Anyhow, it was really good to spend time with you, and thank you for spending time with me, and I hope you're enjoying the series, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, bye.